EDO is a data and analytics company serving the television space, measuring the effectiveness of TV ads. EDO stands for Entertainment Data Oracle. So we identified a gap in the middle of the funnel to say, what if we can capture that moment of impact when someone's exposed to an ad and they move from being passive to active. Right. And basically what we did is we said, if we can basically identify those online behaviors that are indicative of consumer intent, the biggest one being search, and basically capture that moment at scale, then we can drive really advanced analytics. So essentially what we do is we realize, it started with the premise that people are sitting watching TV with a device in their hand or on their lap, and if they see something that triggers interest or engagement, the first thing they're going to do is pick up their phone and Google the brand or product being advertised. Right. So basically what we've done is there's two components to our business. One is what we call a TV ad database, which is we capture every ad across all of national television 24/7, across 120 television networks. We've created a taxonomy from category all the way down to creative with a high degree of accuracy. So we have captured 65 million ads over the past 5 years. And what we do is we then map against that spikes in search activity that are being driven by the ads in a minute-by-minute, highly granular, real-time way. Right. So when you do that, you can drive some really interesting analytics and insights from the creative level all the way on up in terms of how the impact that TV is having and the impact it has, and then enable marketers to optimize on that data and enable the ad sellers to basically prove the performance of campaigns and a whole host of other things we do with them. We're a complement to attribution. We're not an attribution provider per se, because we are not, we are completely anonymized data, so we are very privacy compliant, so we're not capturing an individual and tracking what they do down to outcome. We basically went for three things, which is how do you create a currency grade measure out of capturing the impact of TV, and there's three things that you need to do that. One is speed. The other is scale, and the other is syndication. So we're really in that middle of the funnel. So how do you capture engagement with those three things and ultimately enable, again, marketers and brands and networks and the agencies to again, optimize on that data, plan on that data, measure performance on that data, and ultimately transact on that data. You know, the speed piece is important, because ultimately it needs to be real time. Right. We started our business with movie studios. So movie studios are like the most urgent and accountable marketers. Right. You know, they are squeezing thousands of ads into a very short window of time. They can't wait to see, they're driving people into the seats on opening weekend. They can't wait to see how performance is going to be after the fact. So we give them real-time data at a creative level to say, let's do more of what's working and let's do less of what's not in real time. So that has grown from there. We work in other verticals now, automotive, restaurants, insurance, and expanding across the board. So yeah, so speed is one, scale is another. So we basically are covering the entire market. Like I said, 120 networks, 24/7. We are a census level view, so we're not a panel-based company. Right. We are capturing a census level view of the market, and that enables us to not only cover with huge breadth, but also get down to a highly granular level because of the amount of data that we capture. Right. And the third is syndication. I think that's very important and probably the biggest differentiator between what we do and what the multi-touch attribution players are doing, right, which is we are not only passive measurement, so there's no tagging or pixeling involved in what we do, but we ultimately are capturing everything. So not just your brand or your campaign, but all of your competitors as well. Right. So, and you can do it retroactively and look back at performance. So, again, you're never going to miss anything. You don't need to plan for it. We are basically capturing everything that's happening within a commercial pot, scoring every single ad, and we're doing it all the time and been doing it for 5 years. So we have this huge normative database from which to understand and analyze performance. Yeah. Right now we are linear only, but a big part of our data roadmap, a product roadmap I should say, for 2020 is going non-linear as well. But yes, right now we are national linear TV measurement.
So basically, just so I understand it better, basically you're measuring, you have this database, and you know when different commercials, you're able to tell when different commercials have run, and then you map that to a surge in search activity or visits to a website for whatever company that is, and for their competitors as well.
Yes, well, not visits to a website, again, because we're not tracking individual PII. Right. So it's basically mapping anonymized search behavior. Again, the biggest one being Google search, we call in, but we have other sources as well that we curate and bring in. And again, you think about it, mapping all of that data, and every single brand or product has a spike in search engagement that occurs only when you have the scale of a linear TV ad running. And we can quantify that spike and basically run advanced data analytics against that. So yeah, that's basically at the heart of what we're doing.
So you must be particularly valuable to anybody who's doing sort of a retail type campaign, right?
DTC is very big, but you know, what's interesting is, what we found is, you know, DTC advertisers have been operating like this for a long time. You know, they have visibility into their own funnels. What we're doing is providing search as that gateway down funnel. Okay, so capturing that search activity at the moment of impact and making it available to more big market brands and advertisers enables them to operate and think like DTC brands.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's essentially, so it's, and what we're finding is it's not just, we don't see spikes just for the things you would expect, like movies or big automotive. We just got done with our Super Bowl measurement where we ranked every single ad. And of course, you know, you see huge amounts of search activity for things like, you know, new big movie launches or a new car announcement. But the network partners we work with in the ad sales teams, they are using us to measure across all campaigns. So things you wouldn't even expect, CPG, you know, or insurance is a big category. There is absolutely spikes in search that can be pulled out and measured for all of those categories as well, which is pretty cool.
Right, and then your clients use that to sort of evaluate their creative and their media plans.
Yeah, well, there's a few applications. On the buy side, working with brands, it's creative optimization. That's a huge one. So being, like I said, with the movie studios and other brands, being able to see what's working and what's not and make changes in real time. Media planning. What's the best environment for my ads? Okay, this creative, when it features, you know, this actor or this theme, does it work better in these environments versus these environments? So being able to plan around that. On the sell side of the coin, it's a lot about campaign measurement. So because we are always on and real time and fully syndicated, the ad sellers love it because there's huge economies of scale, and they can basically, they don't have to do a custom campaign or a custom measurement plan every time they want to kind of go back to a client and see how things work. So there's campaign measurement. And also with the ad sellers, because we have this rich database of how every ad across every category is performed, they can use it for business development to basically, you know, do fair share analyses, because we also layer in impression data and spend data to every single spot. So they can ultimately run detailed analyses about what's, you know, where they're performing well and go out into the marketplace with that. And then the third piece with the sell side and the networks is advanced advertising. So we do a fair amount of work with the advanced advertising teams who basically will take an API of our data, and they're actually beginning to guarantee on it now. You know, because it is always on and it is robust and it is predictive, they have the confidence to say, you know, we're going to guarantee an X% lift in search engagement for your campaign. Not only that, but we're going to optimize that campaign in real time to make sure that you are erring in the places that are working on our platform versus ones that maybe are not doing as well. So they will optimize that. They're doing a lot of that for DTC advertisers that are running on their networks. And then obviously, then you can measure that and then do it all over again.